Hello everyone. Welcome you all back again to this new lesson of Control System 1. Today we'll be discussing about continued part of Bode plot. In last class we discussed about the basic introduction of Bode plot. Why shall we study Bode plot? What is the concept of semilog graph paper? What is the purpose of using semilog graph paper? We also discussed about getting Bode plot of few terms which are associated with the general expression of a transfer function. So as we all know, our main objective of studying Bode plot is to determine stability of a particular system. So by using Bode plot, we would like to get transfer function stability of a transfer function. Now a transfer function involves different terms. We already discussed getting Bode plot of two different terms. Now today we'll be discussing getting Bode plot of another two terms. Once getting Bode plot of all the four terms which are used in general expression of a transfer function are known to us, we could combine the knowledge of this individual terms Bode plot to get Bode plot of entire transfer function. And as we all know, any system could be represented by its transfer function. So by using Bode plot method, if any physical device or physical system is given to us, we could first try to obtain its transfer function. Then from that transfer function, we could get its Bode plot by applying the knowledge which we are acquiring in today's class and in which we already acquired in last class. Once Bode plot is obtained, we could easily determine whether a system is stable or not. Or if a system is not stable, then what are the additions to be made in the system, how pole zero location to be changed in order to make system more stable. So all those will be discussed in today's and next few classes. So learning outcome of today's lesson is as same as the learning outcome of previous lesson, that is determination of stability of a system using Bode plot method. Today we'll be discussing about the getting Bode plot of these two individual terms. One is simple pole term, that is 1 by 1 plus st form. Another is simple zero term, that is 1 plus st form. And also we'll be discussing about the term corner frequency. In last class, we discussed about getting Bode plot of a constant term k, getting Bode plot of s to the power n and 1 by s to the power n term. So what is 1 by s to the power n term? 1 by s to the power n means n poles are located at origin. S to the power n term implies n zeros are located at origin. So how to get Bode plot of 1 by s to the power 1 by 1 plus st term? So let us consider a simple pole located at a frequency omega equals to 1 by t. The magnitude of 1 by 1 plus st will be like this, as we could write this. S could be represented by j omega t. S could be represented by j omega. So 1 by 1 plus j omega t. Now magnitude of a plus jb is well known to us, that is under root a square plus b square. So magnitude of 1 by 1 plus j omega t will be magnitude of this term will be 1 under root 1 plus omega square t square based on this. This is very well known to us. Now real part is a, here real part is 1, so 1 square, that is 1, and imaginary part is b, that is b square. So omega square t square. Okay. So magnitude in decibel will be 20 log of this term. Now log a by b could be written as this. So 20 log 1 minus 20 log under root 1 plus omega square t square. Now log 1 is 0, as we all know. So this finally will be reduced to this minus 20 log under root 1 square, that is 1 plus omega square t square. Now how m varies with omega, that is frequency. See, m, the magnitude in decibel, depends on the function omega. So if omega changes in this equation, the magnitude will be changed. It is very simple. So how it will change? We have considered two different cases, for very low frequency and for very high frequency. For very low frequency, if frequency is very low, then omega t will be much lesser than 1. So magnitude, the formula for magnitude is this. Now omega t is very less than 1 for very low frequency, which implies this omega square t square is again much lower. If omega is very less, then its square will be much lesser. So this omega square t square term could be neglected compared to 1. So we could neglect this omega square t square compared to 1. So if we neglect this term, then this m would be reduced to minus 20 log 1. So 20 log 1 or log 1 is 0. So we'll get magnitude is 0 for very low frequencies. So the conclusion here is, based on this equation, the magnitude becomes 0 almost at very low frequency. Now what happens for very high frequencies? For very high frequencies, omega is much larger. So omega t consequently will be very larger, and it is much larger in comparison to 1. That is why we could write omega t very greater than 1. Now if omega t very greater than 1, then m equals to what? Minus 20 log under root 1 plus omega square t square. Now as omega square t square is much larger than 1, so this 1 could be neglected compared to omega square t square. So if 1 is neglected, this equation would be reduced to minus 20 log under root omega square t square, that is minus 20 log omega t. Okay, what this equation signifies? This is very important. These two cases, conclusion of these two cases are very important for getting Bode plot of 1 by 1 plus st term. From these two cases, it is clear that m is 0 at very low frequencies and has a slope of minus 20 dB per decade at very high frequency. So why this is so? Magnitude is 0 at very low frequency. This is clear to everyone. Now it is having minus 20 dB per decade slope at very high frequency. How could we write that? That will come later. In next slide we'll discuss that. Okay, let us discuss that first. See here, minus 20 log omega. This will give us a slope of minus 20. Okay. So from this minus 20 log omega t, we could say this minus 20 is the slope of the magnitude. So the slope is minus 20 dB per decade at very high frequency. So what should be the nature of magnitude graph? Initially magnitude is 0. At very low frequency magnitude is 0. At high frequency the magnitude should be having a slope of this slope is minus 20 dB per decade. So from this we can easily conclude that there must be a certain frequency at which zero slope is changed to minus 20 dB per decade slope. Again I am repeating, the magnitude is zero, which is shown by red at very low frequency, and at very high frequency this magnitude will become having minus 20 dB per decade slope. So there must be a certain frequency at which the slope gets changed. So this frequency is known as corner frequency. So what we have written here, thus there must be a frequency point from which the slope starts from 0 dB axis. So this is 0 dB axis. From this 0 dB axis, slope is changed to minus 20 dB per decade at a certain frequency, which is known as corner frequency. Let us discuss this with the help of diagram. Let us consider this diagram. For very low frequency, this is 0 dB axis. See here, again I'm showing you. This is magnitude in decibel. So this is 0 dB axis. This axis is 0 dB axis. And this is 0 magnitude. This is minus 20 dB per decade slope. This is minus 20 dB per decade slope. So initially at low frequency, it will be 0, magnitude will be 0. But at high frequency, the magnitude will be minus 20 dB per decade. So there must be a certain frequency. This is frequency axis, x-axis is frequency axis. So there must be a certain frequency, this one, from which the slope starts. This frequency is known as corner frequency. Okay. Now what is this? What this dotted line shows? This dotted line shows the actual graph, exact function, whereas this line shows asymptotic approximated line. So for better understanding, for simplified calculation, we'll assume the approximated ideal case. So hopefully it is understood what is corner frequency. Corner frequency is that frequency at which the slope changes. Okay. Now let us derive the expression for corner frequency. This is the expression for corner frequency. Here, what can we say? The corner frequency omega naught equals to 1 by t. Why? How can we derive this? See, magnitude m equals to this. This is equation for magnitude in decibel. This varies with frequency. Now, for very high frequency, 1 could be neglected compared to omega square t square. So this equation would be reduced to minus 20 log omega t, which is equals to minus 20 log omega t could be written as log omega plus log t. So minus 20 log omega plus 20 log 1 by t. Clear? Now, at very high frequency, magnitude is this. So this magnitude, this equation would be maintained by this green line. This is for very high frequency, 20 dB per decade slope. So this line will be maintained if this line is maintained from this point. From this point, this line is maintained. So at this point, the magnitude is 0. So this line is having an equation which we discussed just now. This line is having a magnitude of equation of this. So this line is following this equation, but at some certain frequency where the frequency changes, where the slope changes, at some certain frequency where the slope changes, which is known as corner frequency, the magnitude is 0. So this equation is having 0 magnitude at corner frequency from which slope is changed. So that is why we have written at corner frequency omega 0, this equation must start from 0 dB axis with minus 20 dB per decade slope. So at omega 0, the magnitude is 0. So by substituting the magnitude by 0, we will get omega naught equals to 1 by t. So this is how we can get equation for omega naught. So this magnitude plot is hopefully clear to everyone. Now let us move to another plot, that is phase angle plot. As we know, Bode plot comprises two plots, magnitude plot and phase angle plot. So let us start discussing about phase angle plot. So 1 by 1 plus st. This term could be written as we all know, 1 by 1 plus st could be written as 1 by 1 plus j omega t. Now a plus jb will have a phase angle of tan inverse b by a. B means imaginary part. So 1 is having phase angle of 0 degree, and 1 plus j omega t will have a phase angle of tan inverse b by a. B means omega t divided by 1. So as it is divided, so there will be minus. So minus tan inverse omega t is the phase angle of this term. Now again, for very low frequency, when omega t is very less than 1, the angle will be, angle of 1 by 1 plus j omega t will be minus tan inverse omega t. For very low frequency, omega is almost neglected, so tan inverse 0 will be 0 degree. So for very low frequency, phase angle of the term will be 0 degree. For very high frequency, when omega approaches infinite, tan inverse infinity will be tan inverse 90. So minus tan inverse omega t will be minus 90 degree. Now at corner frequency, what is the phase angle? At corner frequency is omega equals to 1 by t. So at corner frequency, omega t equals to 1. So when omega t equals to 1, this angle will be tan inverse 1, that is minus 45 degree. So you have got three cases. At very low frequency, the phase angle is 0 degree. At very high frequency, phase angle is minus 90 degree. And at corner frequency, phase angle is minus 45 degree. So based on these three obtained data, we could get phase angle plot. For very low frequency, phase angle is 0 degree. At corner frequency, this is corner frequency. So phase angle will be moved to minus 45 degree. Again, at very high frequency, it will move to minus 90 degree. So 0, minus 45, minus 90. So this is how the phase angle varies with variation in frequency in log scale for the term 1 by 1 plus st. So Bode plot, getting magnitude plot and phase angle plot for the term 1 by 1 plus st is now discussed. Now let us discuss Bode plot of 1 plus st term, that is simple 0 term. So magnitude of 1 plus st will be again Similar, see here, 1 plus st could be written as 1 plus j omega t, which would have a magnitude of under root 1 plus omega square t square. This is magnitude, and magnitude in decibel will be like previous case, it would be 20 log under root 1 plus omega square t square. Now again m will vary like previous one. It's if the Bode plot for 1 by 1 plus st term is understood, it is much easier to understand the Bode plot for 1 plus st term. Few changes are there, few minus would be changed to plus, nothing else. So for very low frequencies, omega t is very less than 1. So 20 log under root 1 plus omega square t square, this term could be neglected compared to 1 and we'll get 0. Similarly, for very high frequency, omega t is much larger than 1. So 1 could be neglected compared to omega square t square. So it would be reduced to 20 log omega t. So here the slope is 20 dB per decade, plus 20 dB per decade. In last case for pole, slope was minus 20 dB per decade. In this case, slope will be plus 20 dB per decade. So again, from these two cases, it is clear that m is 0 at very low frequencies and has a slope of plus 20 dB per decade at very high frequency. So there must be a certain frequency point at which the slope changes from 0 to plus 20 dB per decade, which is known as corner frequency. Now, again, as we all know, at very high frequency, this is the equation. So 20 log under root 1 plus omega square t square could be reduced to 20 log omega t, where 1 could be, what should I say, 1 could be neglected in comparison to omega square t square. So 20 log omega t. So 20 log omega plus log t, which could be written as this. Now here, from this equation initially slope was 0, then at corner frequency the slope starts changing to 20 dB per decade slope. Now at this corner frequency, this equation should be 0. That is why it is written at omega 0, this equation should be equals to 0. So 0 equals to this would give us omega naught equals to 1 by t, which is the corner frequency for this term as well. So in both the cases, corner frequency is same, that is 1 by t. Now what is phase angle? Phase angle of 1 plus st term. Phase angle of 1 plus st term will be tan inverse omega t, 1 plus j omega t. Phase angle of 1 plus j omega t will be tan inverse omega t by 1, isn't it? Like previous one, 1 plus j omega t. It will have a phase angle of tan inverse omega t divided by 1, tan inverse b by a. So for very low frequency, similarly phase angle for very low frequency omega is 0 almost. So tan inverse 0 is 0 degree. For very high frequency, it is tan inverse 90 degrees, tan inverse infinity. For very high frequency, omega could be considered as infinity. So tan inverse 90 degree. And for omega t equals to 1, it is 45 degree. Tan inverse 1 equals to 45 degree at corner frequency. So initially, the slope is 0 degree at low frequency. At corner frequency, the slope will start changing to plus 20 per decade, as this is the 0 case, and slope will be changed to plus 20 dB per decade. Now, for phase angle plot, initially the slope is phase angle is 0 degree. Then at corner frequency at omega t equals to 1, it is 45 degree. This is corner frequency at omega 0. And again it will move to 90 degree when omega is much larger. So we can conclude that from all those discussions, we could conclude that for pole term, the magnitude plot will be 0 initially. At corner frequency, the slope will start changing and the slope will become minus 20 dB per decade. For 0 term, the slope will be plus 20 dB per decade. So this is the difference between 1 by 1 plus st term and 1 plus st term. Similarly, phase angle for 1 by 1 plus st term, that is simple pole term, will be 0 initially, minus 45 degree at corner frequency and 90 degree at very high frequency, minus 90 degree. For 0 term, 0 degree for very low frequency, 45 degree for corner frequency and 90 degree for very high frequency. So these are the Bode plots of simple pole and simple 0 terms. Now suppose you have you are asked to get Bode plot of 1 plus st whole square term. If you are asked to get Bode plot of this whole square term, then this slope will be plus 40 dB per decade. Due to whole square, the slope will be changed at a double rate. Similarly, for this one, the slope will be changed by minus 40 dB per decade. Okay. So what we discussed today, let me summarize. First, we discussed how to get magnitude plot for 1 by 1 plus st term, that is simple pole term. What is corner frequency we discussed. How to get magnitude plot for simple 0 term. What is corner frequency in that case, that also we discussed. In all the cases, corner frequency is omega equals to 1 by t. What is phase angle plot, how phase angle varies with change in frequency for simple pole term, simple 0 term, that is also discussed. So now we have discussed all the 4 individual terms which are associated with general expression of a transfer function. The term k, the term 1 by s to the power n, the term 1 by 1 plus st, that is simple pole, the term 1 plus st, that is simple 0. Now in next class, we'll discuss about the different steps which are involved to determine Bode plot of a transfer function. We'll apply all the knowledge which we acquired in today's class and in last class. We'll combine those to get Bode plot of entire transfer function. All those will be discussed in next class. So as of now, today I'm ending up here. Meet you all in next class. Thank you all.